And basically, I'm gonna just take the time out and just really um just just analyze what has become of Floyd Mayweather. Now Floyd is just to the point to where he's laughable now, and you just shaking your head because it's pathetic. Now I know the Floyd Mayweather apologist gonna come and say, "Man, well, Floyd is making millions and he's trying to generate generational wealth." Man, he should already have generated generational wealth by now. Man, this dude claims he's made almost $1 billion in fight purses. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Nobody would diminish and degrade themselves to fighting in Mexico City at a venue where it was pretty much half empty. Now it's funny, you got people worrying about how many people come to Terence Crawford's events, and the stadium is packed, but you got Floyd Mayweather fighting in half empty, arenas in Mexico City, and people didn't come to his last exhibition match. I mean, you went from fighting Hall of Fame fighters to fighting reality stars. There's no way you can't tell me that they may be a financial reason, and I don't mean for generational wealth, that you might be having money problems to where you got to resort to fighting in Mexico City against reality stars or the grandson of a known mobster. You know, it's just pathetic, and it's sad to see what has became of Floyd Mayweather. It was pathetic, and I didn't cover the fight, and I wasn't going to. But I will give Floyd this type of attention because Floyd needs to stop. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah, and I mean, it's 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 pathetic to see Floyd at this point in his career. Floyd is pushing 50 years old and he's still seeking attention. He still wants to be relevant. He's not relevant no more, and he needs to understand it. And Floyd is so desperate for attention. He does things where he wants people to make videos about it. I wasn't about to make no video what he did at the Las Vegas Aces game, where Floyd pulled out a big ass bag of money and was counting it in front of everybody. Like, dude, you look just as cool pulling out a black card or a platinum card. You look just as boss. You look just as cool. Like, this whole Floyd Money Mayweather persona is over, dude. You're not relevant in boxing anymore. You have to understand, um, your torch has been put out. You had a chance to pass the torch to guys like Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and you elected not to do it. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, darling? You had a chance to do it, and you refused to. So now you fighting in Mexico City, and then from what I was told, people was booing the hell out of you. You not Floyd Money Mayweather anymore. You look desperate now. You look desperate. You look like a dude that's hit the wall, and to me, he has hit the wall. At the end of the day, nobody cares about you anymore. Your last big moment is when you had the Conor McGregor fight. That was your last hurrah, and you should have left it at that. You went from fighting, you went from fighting in full-fledged arenas to fighting in small venues. And don't give me this stuff that you got paid $20 million by your fanboys. Nobody paid, $20 million for that, because if that's the case, you would have been in a state-of-the-art arena. That venue looked horrible. That venue looked horrible. It looked small. I mean, you resorted to this now? You resorted to this. At one time, when Floyd Mayweather was fighting in his heyday, and you know, um, the mid 2000s all the way to the tens, you know, after 2017 when he fought Conor McGregor. Wow, it's been almost 7 years since that fight. That was his last big hurrah. He took home monumental money, and you still trying to fight exhibition matches? That looked like a Chitlin circuit fight. You really resorted to letting the zone basically put you on. You went from fighting on pay-per-view to fighting on apps now. that nobody cares about. Nobody covered that fight. Nobody cared about that fight. And you still thinking you relevant. Like, dude, just stop it. Why don't you just go away? At the end of the day, if you want to be an ambassador to the sport, do what Andre Ward did. Why don't you just start a podcast and try to bring people on there and talk about boxing? Try to break down fights, try to break down fighters. But instead, you still are sitting up here fighting these pathetic, and I do mean pathetic, exhibition matches with people who are not even relevant. John Gotti the third, like, dude, who is he? Like, dude, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Like, come on, man. You ain't even fighting an actual former fighter, a dude who's never fought professionally before in his life. Like, come on, man. And then you think, like, come on, dude, you look desperate out there. At 47 years old, come on, man. Like, somebody need to save Floyd from himself. But at the end of the day, this is what happens when you have a lot of yes men around you that won't tell you the truth. Like, dude, you need to stop this. Your stature is dwindling. Your status is just falling by the waistline to where you're at laughable right now. You went from okay, he just having fun, to where now it's just laughable. Nobody in the States wants to book you for an exhibition match, Floyd. That's why you fighting in Mexico City. Because you can't get anybody to book you at a venue in the States. You can't even get into a smaller venue because nobody wants to see you fight anymore. Unless you come out of retirement and fight possibly Manny Pacquiao, and it still won't have the relevance that it had back in 2015. Which, by the way, that fight came possibly 3 years too late. You know? Well, at least Mike Tyson is fighting in Cowboy Stadium. I mean, but Floyd is fighting in Mexico City. We all know that this is a publicity stunt by Jake Paul. I still think even at 57, if Mike Tyson is serious, he can really hurt Jake Paul. I can tell you right now, Mike Tyson is making far more for this fight than what Floyd Mayweather made fighting in Mexico City. You have to ask yourself this. Floyd went from fighting in full-fledged arenas, MGM Grand, T-Mobile Arena, to fighting in questionable venues in Europe. Now he fighting in Mexico City because nobody cares about him. This is like Michael Jordan, and I'm not comparing Floyd Mayweather to Michael Jordan, but this is like Michael Jordan at age 60, playing basketball like in Thailand or something. You'll be like, why is Michael Jordan doing this? Why is Michael Jordan resorted to playing basketball at 60 or 61 in Thailand? Floyd is 47 years old. He will be 48 on February 24th. And he's now resorted to fighting in Mexico City. And I'm tired of people thinking because you call this stuff out, you're hating and you're putting Floyd down. No, people are just saying, dude, enough is enough. And I'm tired of people acting like you don't have the right to criticize something, or you have to like everything that's put before you, that you have to accept everything. I'm looking at Floyd from where he was 10 years ago to where he is now, and it's pathetic. And somebody got to say it. I seen highlights of the fight, but I didn't talk about it because it wasn't of any use to me to even talk about this or cover something like this. The Mike Tyson, Jake Paul thing, it is a spectacle, but it has a lot of hype around it. Floyd is not going to go nowhere near Terence Crawford. Not gonna happen. There was a question about whether Floyd wanted to fight relevant black fighters when he was relevant. And that's why Floyd was cherry picking a lot of those Mexican fighters. Not because he considered them a challenge, he considered them easy pickings. And that's what it was. Floyd showed enough respect to the brothers because he questioned would he still have his O. So that's why he picked the dudes that he fought. You know, man, not to knock them, but they were good fights. But Floyd was an overwhelming favorite in all those fights. Now, if you get Floyd fighting, Keith Thurman, when Keith Thurman is at his height, at his plight, whatever you want to call it. Same thing with, Errol Spence. Same thing with Sean Porter. You have to wonder how would Floyd do against those dudes. When Keith Thurman was healthy, Keith Thurman was one of the best out there. So was Sean Porter. Sean Porter was very rugged. Errol Spence was Errol Spence. Now, Terence Crawford was fighting at a lower weight class. So Terence Crawford had made his way up to welterweight yet. But all those dudes were available fights for Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather chose to take the high road, which is go fight other people. And keep in mind, Keith Thurman, if I'm not mistaken, was the number one contender for one of the belts he had, and he elected not to fight Keith Thurman. Now, I'm not saying that Floyd ducked him, but at the same time, you can make an argument that that might be the case. Or you could just say Floyd didn't want to give brothers a payday. And that's why one of the questions has raised about Floyd Mayweather, that he didn't want to give black fighters towards the, end of his career a shot. And at the end of the day, when he fought Shane Porter was pushing 40. I mean, that doesn't mean anything because Shane Mosley was coming off that great win versus Margarito, but it is what it is. Floyd put on a great fight versus Shane Mosley, but once again, that's another fight that might have been, a few years too late. But, Floyd, he fought Sugar Shane Mosley. He beat Sugar Shane Mosley's ass pretty much. It was a domination after the second round. So you just have to put that out there about Floyd Mayweather. It's unfortunate, but you have to say, okay, Floyd kind of didn't want to give the brothers a shot. And this is why a lot of people have issues with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather seen that Floyd Mayweather must be a Democrat because he think like Kamala Harris, put money in Hispanic pockets other than black people. There were a lot of fights out there. Then, Floyd, you can make the argument Floyd didn't want to fight Paul Williams. Floyd flat out said that Paul Williams was too big for him. So there you have it. I mean, you just got to call a spade a spade. But now looking at Floyd now, it's just pathetic watching this man have these pathetic exhibition matches. It's to the point of where you can't even get licensed to fight in the States. Well, Floyd was in Mexico, so I get it. But at the same time, you still not Mexican, you American. That's like, I'm gonna tell you something, a lot of times Hispanics are not moved by that kind of stuff. Where black people is moved by any person that ain't black that know a line from Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society. We need to have that same mentality. Well, I have that same mentality. I'm not moved by that. Not moved because you can, recite the latest lines from, from whatever hip hop artist. I'm not moved by that. I'm not moved by the fact that you know lines from Friday. Don't care. It's just it's it's just you just be like, come on, man, what's up? It's like what 50 Cent said, and I hate to use any line from 50 Cent where he was like, damn, homie, in high school you used to be the man, homie. The fuck happened to you? And that's kind of where I'm at with Floyd Mayweather. It's like, dude, what the fuck happened to you? What happened to your career, dude? Floyd ain't been able to sell out a venue in a while. Floyd didn't even sell out that exhibition match he had with Logan Paul. They had to give away tickets and they were letting people in for free. Then I think it was raining when that event happened. Floyd should have gave it up right then and there. But he's so desperate to have people talking about him to where he does these type of things. He pulls these type of antics. And it got to get to the point, Floyd, you have to realize, Floyd, you have to realize, dude, you almost 50 years old, man. Next year, you're going to be 48. Then the year after that, you're going to be 49. Then next year, you're going to be 50. When do you say to yourself, I got to stop doing this? And that's the sad part about Floyd. He's not fighting anybody of substance or relevance. Who are these people that he's fighting? And then there were supposed to be talks of him having an exhibition match versus Julio Cesar Chavez, which would be even more pathetic. Not that I'm defending Julio Cesar Chavez, but come on, Julio Cesar Chavez like in his 60s. I'm gonna be honest with you. Floyd is to the point to where he couldn't even be a headliner anymore. He would have to fight on Tank's undercard. Him and Manny Pacquiao would and that would hurt Floyd's ego. A Manny Pacquiao rematch, that would hurt Floyd's ego so bad if Floyd had to be what you would call fighting on the undercard or being a co-main event, because Floyd's ego is too big. So Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao, that would have to be like a co-main event, even if they was to do a rematch, and they would have to stack that card. Now Andre Ward is gone. Andre Ward, I didn't talk to Andre Ward several times. He's contempt with not coming back. Andre Ward said that even if he was offered $100 million to come back and fight, he said he'd have to think about it. But I'm sorry, y'all think Andre Ward coming back for $100 million. And I was laughing at the fact that you still have these pathetic and delusional Canelo fans. And I need to put this out there on a side note. To you Canelo fans that keep talking about Andre Ward should come out of retirement and fight Canelo because that'll be an easy fight for Canelo, you guys are out of your fucking mind. Andre Ward could come out of retirement at age 40 and he'll still wash Canelo. Some of you Canelo fans are this delusional. Put down the cocaine, okay? Put down the cocaine and stop it. Canelo on his best day couldn't do nothing with Andre Ward. When I say Canelo would get humiliated by Andre Ward, he would get more humiliated by Andre Ward than he did Bibble. I watched that fight again with Canelo and Bibble. Now reevaluating that fight, Bibble won that fight 9 rounds to 3. I had it, I think 8-4 for Bibble, but it was 9-3. Bibble could have stopped Canelo. Canelo's eyes was popping wide open every time he was getting hit with those combo. If Bibble would have seen really realized what type of damage he was doing to Canelo, and Canelo tried to make it look good by attempting to come forward and press, Bibble could have stopped Canelo. And if they fight again, Bibble will stop Canelo. And I'm laughing at the fact that you got people that really believe that you Canelo fans are that damn delusional and that stupid. Andre Ward said 3 years ago, he said, all Canelo got to do is call my name, and he said, I'll come out of retirement and beat his ass. You Canelo fans are delusional. Not for real. Canelo would quit on its man. Canelo would quit in his corner because he would get punished that bad. A lot of people had Caleb Plant up in the fight. Listen, I don't listen to Showtime. I don't listen to what Al Bernstein, because they have an agenda to push. They have to make it look like that basically the star is doing more what he really was doing, except in the case with Terence Crawford, where you had people and Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora's color commentary of Bud's fight was pathetic. And I know they was mad at Sean Porter for telling the truth. And it's still niggas out here who still mad about Bud whooping on Errol Spence, saying that Bud lost that fight. Bud didn't lose that fight. Just stop it. Stop it. Just stop the cap. Andre Ward on his worst day would still be able to beat Canelo. I just can't believe the lack of respect that these, in particularly Mexican so-called fight fans, yeah, I'm calling y'all out, have for black fighters and Andre Ward, to sit up there and say that Andre Ward would be an easy fight for Canelo. You talk about the same Canelo that couldn't stop Jaime Munguia, who had a fucked up hand, who was damn near, you know what I'm saying, who damn near had one and a quarter good hands. He couldn't even stop him. He couldn't stop a Charlo that went up 2 weight classes that you can clearly see was out of shape. Okay. He couldn't stop a 40-year-old Triple G. He couldn't stop John Ryder, who he fought in the ring that was the size of a porta potty. But they think that he can beat Andre Ward. Y'all can't be that damn delusional, but I guess you can. This is when you put you know what I'm saying, tribalism over sense. Man couldn't, like I said, man fought John Ryder in a ring that was the size of a porta potty, and he still couldn't stop him. So what are these dudes talking about? Are you guys that out of touch? Are you guys that out of touch with reality? So, like, come on, man. But, then again, this may be Floyd's karma, though. This may be Floyd's karma, that nobody is checking for him no more. That may be Floyd's karma for how he treated people, how he treated the black community by saying we didn't support him, basically him helping Ryan Garcia cheat, telling Ryan Garcia not to make weight, So this may be Floyd's karma, that nobody cares about him anymore, that he's resorted going to Mexico fighting in half empty arenas. I mean, Floyd might as well just call Bob Arum up and just ask Bob Arum to give him Teofimo Lopez. Floyd could beat Teofimo Lopez. I mean, Floyd might as well. That'll be the payday that Teofimo is looking for, because we all know right now, Teofimo, as I said before, Teofimo can't sell out. Teofimo can't sell out an In-N-Out Burger parking lot. And now Floyd has resorted to fighting in these smaller venues in Mexico. So Floyd and Teofimo should fight. That's a winnable fight for Floyd. And that'll be the payday that Teofimo is looking for. That makes all the sense in the world. I don't even think I don't think I don't think Teofimo could beat Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, he turned down the Brian Norman fight. You know, he turned down that fight. Teofimo, the let's just keep it 100. Who was the last relevant black fighter that he beat? Oh, Richard Kami. There you go. But he always be trying to sneak this black people, but he sure don't want to fight no relevant black fighter. He don't want to fight Tank. He don't want to fight Terence Crawford. He just clout chasing. Why would anybody like even think that he has remotely any chance of beating Terence Crawford when he lost to George Kambosos Jr.? You can make an argument that he lost to Jermaine Ortiz. You can make an argument that he lost to Sandor Martin. So, what in God's green earth would make any delusional person think that he has a chance versus Terence Crawford? This is why he should just fight Floyd. He should fight Floyd. Because I still think Floyd would win. I still think Floyd would beat Teofimo. But you know, Floyd came into that fight at 160 and Gotti weighed like 181. Now the question is, could Floyd slim back down? Floyd probably can't make 147 anymore because of, you know, his age. But Teofimo should be willing to take that fight. If Floyd say let's fight at 150, Teofimo should jump on it. Because he don't want to fight Brian Norman Jr. He don't seem interested in fighting Tank. And he's capping about Terence Crawford. I told you Teofimo don't have no place, like kind of like he don't have no place, like he don't really have a legitimate spot as far as the Latino what's the word I'm looking for? He don't have no, you know, he really don't have no identity as far as the chain of interest when it comes to Latino fighters because he's Honduran. Is there really a Honduran fan base as far as, you know, as far as the Latino scale go? There's Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Argentinian. So they have fan bases. So where Teofimo, he really doesn't have a spot. You know, because he's not Mexican, he's not Puerto Rican, he's not El Salvadorian, he's not Nicaraguan. You know, even those fighters have like somewhat of a fan base. Where is a Honduran boxing fan base at? Do they ever really come to fights? Okay, there you have it. Yeah, he's at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to you know, Latino boxers popularity. You just got to keep it 100. And nobody wants to have that conversation, but at the same time, he like trying to talk shit about black people. If he would keep his mouth shut and stop trying to sneak diss black people, then maybe he would have more black people backing him. Because he doesn't have the backing of the Latino community. But then he blatantly shows disrespect and subliminal racism for black fighters to where he really can't build up a black fan base. See, he could have got, you know, he could have went the direction that Caleb Plant went. If he had kept his mouth shut and been more politically correct, he would have people backing him. See, Caleb Plant know what to say. You know, just like Caleb Plant is on code more than black people is as far as Ryan Garcia goes. You know, while everybody else is making excuses for Ryan Garcia, he the only one that basically called Ryan Garcia out for being a cheater. But nobody not gonna come after him because he white. So there you have it. You know, but yeah, I had to put this out there about Floyd because this is just to the point to where it's just sad to just watch what has became of Floyd Mayweather. Next thing you know, Floyd gonna get to the point to where he walking in venues with a pair of boxing gloves saying he still can fight. Let's just hope he don't start singing because he truly has became the Eddie Kane of boxing. And it's sad to see what has became of Floyd Mayweather. And then the problem is you got a lot of these fighters to keep sitting up here that just won't state the obvious and just say Floyd need to go away and stop like participating in these pathetic exhibition matches. They're not fun to watch and nobody cares to see them. People ain't talking bad about Floyd because they trying to hate on Floyd. They're just telling him the truth that he need to sit his ass down. Let somebody else have the shine now. You had your time. You were relevant for 20 years. Let somebody else have the floor. And that's something, and that's another thing that Floyd could be doing. Floyd could be getting his grandson, working on his grandson. It seemed like his grandson happened in his blood. It seemed like his grandson want to fight. So at the end of the day, that's in his grandson's blood. Start working on your grandson. I'm gonna be honest. I'm at the point to where I'm not worried about nobody. If somebody says something about me, I will decide if I respond, and if I do respond, it's gonna be very vicious. Anybody that knows me, I can respond very vicious. Ask the last nigga that came after me what happened. So, if they want to go that route, that's fine. Um, you know, and them type of dudes are the dudes that are dangerous and they're not good for boxing media because they're not authentic. They push an agenda. At this point, why are you sitting up here worrying about what Leonard Ellaby could do for you? Leonard Ellaby ain't got no clout. And I'm just keeping it 100. Nobody cares about Sir Nose. Okay. The PBC is shit. The PBC got one one foot out the door. And that's the difference between me. I'm not going to sit up here and continue to worship the ground Floyd Mayweather walks on, but Floyd don't throw none of that love back. And he just have to be told. Ain't nobody worried about Leonard. Ain't nobody worried about Sir Nose. Because the shit that PBC did to me, fuck them. And I'm just I'm just keeping it a buck. The stuff they did to me, how they didn't blacklisted me from just basically have a difference of opinion, that's cool. That's cool. I'm fine with that. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. So I'm not worried about them dudes. Everybody know that the least attorney is full of it. That dude been making excuses for Bud whooping Errol Spence's ass for the last year and some change, and leading up to the fight, he was making excuses. And this is the same dude that gave Ryan Garcia a pass. So I mean, like, that's what these dudes do. That's what these dudes do. Now I guarantee you, they ain't gonna be no videos about Floyd Mayweather fighting in a half empty arena, and that all of the people on the card, and particularly the black fighters, got booed. I guarantee you, they ain't gonna be no video. But then you got people making videos about Terence Crawford's drawing power and how many pay-per-views he's selling. Well, how many people you think watched that pathetic event with Floyd Mayweather? I guarantee you, there ain't no videos talking about that Floyd fought in a half-empty arena. And I was seeing angles from when Floyd was walking in, it wasn't nobody there. And he's supposed to be the main event. When Floyd fought in the UK, nobody came to see him. But you got Bud, who's a relevant fighter. Everybody worried about his ticket sales, his pay-per-views, who's supposed to be losing money and all this kind of stuff. But I guarantee you, these same people ain't made no videos talking about how many people came to Floyd's fight, how many tickets they sold, what you know, what Floyd made and all that stuff. And did DAZN lose money? I promise you. But these are the same people that want to tear down fighters like Devin Haney and Terence Crawford. So there you have it. But anyway, you guys, appreciate you being here. It's your boy Town. I'm out.